Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, June 19th, 2023. Today I'm going to go over the weekend's MLB games and look ahead to today's games. Same for the WNBA, soccer, Men's College World Series. Calder Cup final and AHL hockey game 6. Today we'll preview and pick that. We'll go over the results from the U.S. Open. Both NBA and NHL mock drafts, best bet. But we have to start with news and notes today because so much went on over the weekend that we have to address. And I think we're going to start in the NBA because the biggest stories of the weekend came in the NBA. The first big story broke after he finished recording on Friday. Ja Morant, 25-game suspension after pulling out a gun. He issued an apology. It says he tries to be better for his fans and all that jazz that you would expect. The NBA Players Association called it excessive and inappropriate. I gotta be honest, I thought it was going to be a lot more than 25 games. I thought it was going to be like 35. There were some people that thought there were going to be more because they thought of Gilbert Arenas back in the day. And that's wild. A lot of people thought it was going to be more because of the past with Gilbert Arenas, but this is a different commissioner. This isn't David Stern. This is Adam Silver's league. This isn't David Stern's league, but Silver did learn from Stern, and I don't know if Silver was around in the league when Arenas got suspended. But here we are. And Ja Morant suspended 25 games. And this is absolutely going to affect what the Grizzlies do in the offseason and whatnot. And Ja better learn his freaking lesson. He better learn his lesson. I think the suspension isn't long enough, personally. But, yeah. The other big NBA story from the weekend is that we had our first big trade of the offseason as the Suns acquire Bradley Beal, or will acquire Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards for Chris Paul and several second-round picks and some pick swaps. We don't know the full details of the trade yet in terms of what years the swaps and the second-rounders are going to be, but the Suns are really going for it. And Matt Ishbia and James Jones are really stepping their foot on the gas and really going for it. Well, they have Kevin Durant there. So, they literally don't have a team outside of those three and whatever you feel about DeAndre Ayton. They really have to nail like their offseason pickups and whatnot. And those four players are only players they have on their contract. Like, this reminds me a lot of the beginning of the AD LeBron Lakers before they discovered Austin Reeves and found all these good pieces. So, the Suns, the pressure's on the Suns. And obviously the other subplot of this is what happens next with Chris Paul. There's some Clippers speculation. There's Lakers speculation. So, we'll see. And then KD had high praise for Beal. He called him a Hall of Fame and All-Star player. That was a long time ago. And now they're teammates. But yeah, the finalists for Beal were the Suns and the Heat. And that was on Saturday, that was reported. And the Heat wanted to keep Tyler Herro, so that was probably the trade breaker for them. And the Wizards literally get nothing back for him because they're going to buy out or trade Chris Paul again unless they get something back for Paul. And then they have a lot of, what ifs and draft picks. And then it was reported before the Suns deal went down is that the Heat preferred Damian Lillard over Bradley Beal. And then Beal chose the Suns over the Heat, over the Bucks and the Kings. The Bucks and the Kings were involved in that. Holy crap. I mean, the Bucks would make sense because Middleton's a free agent. And the Kings would have been really, really fun for Bradley Beal. Other NBA stuff from the weekend, Zion has no Pelicans relationship. As Brian Windhorst says, there's almost minimal relationship between Zion and his teammates. And the Charlotte Hornets prefer Ingram over Zion, as they'll be interested in trading the number 2 pick to New Orleans for a deal including Ingram. Nobody likes Zion anymore, it feels like. Victor Wembanyama hints that he will play a little bit in Summer League, so that's exciting. Mike Dunleavy Jr., new Dubs GM, has already been receiving calls on potential trades for Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole. The Mavericks are not keeping Christian Wood. That's not surprising. The Hawks are targeting Pascal Siakam in a trade, as any other player not named Trae Young could be made available in the potential trade for Siakam. And obviously, we talked about Miami focusing on Damian Lillard. The Mavericks are the only bidder for Kyrie Irving, as the bidder war for Irving is unlikely, as the Mavs appear to be the only confirmed bidder for his services. Nikola Jokic is back at home with his horse in Serbia, so that's pretty cool. Lou Williams retired, former Sixth Man of the Year, 17-year career, so congrats to Lou Williams, very good career. The Indiana Pacers may trade the 7th pick, as they've made the pick available as they're seeking a starting caliber wing. That's very interesting, so they're trying to go for it. A couple guys come to mind. R.J. Barrett of the Knicks. Maybe I feel like Beal. I don't know if Beal wanted to go to Indiana. But there's a lot of guys that stand out that they can get for the 7th pick. But if I'm New York, I think you'd rather have this R.J. Barrett than the 7th pick. I feel like the only way you're trading R.J. Barrett for one of those picks is if it's one of the top 3. So, that's just a name I thought about in terms of a wing that could be available for Indiana. Unfortunate news over the weekend. Bob Huggins got arrested on Friday night in Pittsburgh after failing a sobriety test. And in the wake of that, Bob Huggins resigned as head coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers after the DUI incident. And then Bob Huggins apologized for his recent actions with that and the other issue he got into about a month or two ago with the incident he had on that radio show. So Bob Huggins, really good career, but it's just unfortunate how it ended. 2 very unfortunate incidents with Bob Huggins. I just feel like he's somebody that might need help. Because, like, you don't see, like, two bad incidents like this often. I mean, John Moran, we talked about earlier in the show, but Bob Huggins, two completely different incidents in his case. So, it's very sad. We'll see who West Virginia ultimately hires to replace Huggins. There was a couple names that came to mind, including Ross Hodge, of North Texas. Grant McCaslin they could have had, but Texas Tech has him now. John Beeline is a name that really has been floated out there, but I don't know at his age if he is interested to go back into coaching after the disastrous stint he had with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So it's going to be interesting to see where the Mountaineers go. For sure. Another big story that came out this weekend is that San Diego State is exploring all options as there is no formal invitation from the Pac-12 to join their league, so they're leaving the Mountain West. I think San Diego State should be in the the Pac-12. I really do. I think they've really built themselves up as a good school for athletics, and they should give it a shot. Tiger Woods will not play in the Open Championship as RNA confirms that Woods will not compete in the final major of the year in July. That's unfortunate. I'm thinking that there's a chance he retires, unfortunately. I really do. He obviously isn't the same. He looked terrible at the Masters. And it's just sad. It looks like the last great moment he's going to have is the 2019 Masters win. Another big story from the weekend. Greg Berhalter back as the U.S. men's national team's head coach following the contract lapsed following the World Cup exit. So Berhalter's back as the coach. You could argue they probably shouldn't have gotten rid of him at the first place. Well, the only reason why they did is because his contract was up, it feels like. But they renegotiated and he's back. So it's kind of like the free agent who explores those options and then comes back. So that's interesting among USMNT news. So the Hayfords race got a little interesting as Bayern enters the mix. Arsenal's still the favorites, but Bayern is now in the mix. Obviously, Nikola Jokic was partying in Vegas. He was happy. A Spurs fan got a Victor Wembanyama haircut, which was funny. A gamer signed a $100 million contract with Kick as he outdoes LeBron's $97 million Lakers deal. A college football commit has a 5.34 GPA, and he just finished his high school classes as a freshman. And that is Austin Simmons, who is Ole Miss's new quarterback out of Florida. Peter Alonso came back for the New York Mets on Sunday against the Cardinals, but they still lost. Tanner Houck received stitches as he was getting further tests and has been conscious the whole time after he was hit in the face with the line drive against the Yankees on Friday night. Couple of injuries. Mike Clevenger to the 15-day injured list with the right bicep inflammation. Not good for the White Sox. Max Muncy to the 10-day injured list with a left hamstring strain. Not good for the Dodgers because Muncy's been terrific this year. Remember the song Friday by Rebecca Black from, I would say, 2011? Well, she calls out the Oakland Athletics as she aired them out on Twitter after they referenced her. So that's funny. The Giants and Saquon Barkley are not panicking as Barkley's contract request described as pretty reasonable ahead of the July 17th training camp deadline. That's a good sign, but they got to get him signed. Like, there's no doubt. It just came down. Chris Paul found out about the trade is that he found out about the trade on a flight to New York as he was going to appear on Good Morning America. And I guess the GMA thing was today. So Sergio Busquets is also going to enter Miami as a free agent as Messi is bringing in his friends. Dalvin Cook in no rush to sign. There's a report that Saquon can miss all of camp as he's a real threat to hold out the whole camp without a new contract. Matt Judon hints at a D-Hop deal as he makes the GM of the Year reference following the viral picture with Hopkins during the free agent visit last week. And then the Patriots are leaning on the significant mutual respect between Hopkins and Bill Belichick. Jack Jones, this isn't good for the Patriots, detained after allegedly attempting to bring 2 firearms on a plane. Yikes, and he got arrested for it. Sean McVay praises Matt Stafford at camp as he returns from injury, a night and day difference for Los Angeles. The Las Vegas Golden Knights had their parade on Saturday night as Aiden Hill didn't know what to do with his hands during an interview at the victory parade. So that's funny. Jack Eichel was working at Raising Cane's. So he took a shift at the drive-thru. So that's really, really funny. And also young NHL stars take F1. Jack Hughes, Trevor Zegras, and Cole Caulfield hit up the Canadian F1 race together. So that's pretty cool. Bad news in soccer for U.S. women's national team as their captain got injured. The captain of their team, Becky Sauerbrunn, to miss the World Cup with the foot injury with Portland. That will keep her out of next month's World Cup. That is just really brutal news for Team USA and their chances of winning another World Cup title. Brutal. The Dodgers pulled rookie Emmett Sheehan from a no-hitter. 6 no-hit innings against the Giants before it was broken up in the 7th. And it was his debut. Reminds me of another certain Dodgers pitcher that Dave Roberts pulled prematurely in a no-hitter. And I think it was Ross Stripling. But I remember that very vividly, and everybody went nuts. And then the Giants came back and won the game. Aaron Judge has a second PRP injection as another toe ligament is bothering the Judge, and no timetable for return. And as of yesterday, it was better after the second injection. Good God, I don't think we're going to see him till after the All-Star break. The Yankees really may have to have some change of plans this season if Judge isn't back in time. But here's good news for them. Carlos Rodon will start tomorrow in the minors. Several rehab starts likely before his return. Probably the right call considering the injury he had. So at least somebody's coming back for them. He'll be back before Aaron Judge potentially. All right, that's it for the news and notes, and we'll actually get going here with Major League Baseball from the weekend, and then we will look ahead to today's games, and I do not think the slate today is busy. So, Friday, Cubs over to O's 10-3, Marlins over to Nats 6-5, Mets over to Cardinals 6-1, Red Sox over to Yanks 15-5, Braves over to Rockies 8-1, Jays over to Rangers 2-1, Angels over to Royals 3-0, Reds over to Astros 2-1, Tigers over to Twins 7-1, Brewers over to Pirates 5-4, D-backs over to Guardians 5-1, Phils over to A's 6-1, Rays over to Padres 6-2, Mariners over to White Sox 3-2, and the Giants over to Dodgers 7-5 and 11. Saturday, Twins over to Tigers 2-0, Cubs over to O's 3-2, Marlins over to Nats 5-2, Rangers over to Jays 4-2, Phils over to A's 3-2 and 12, Royals over to Angels 10-9, White Sox over to Mariners 4-3 and 10 or 11, Reds over to Astros 10-3, Braves over to Rockies 10-2, Brewers over to Pirates 5-0, Cards over to Mets 5-3, Padres over to Rays 2-0, Giants over to Dodgers 15-0, D-backs over to Guardians 6-3, Yankees Red Sox postponed makeup date was yesterday, so doubleheader yesterday. O's over to Cubs 6-3, Braves over to Rockies 14-6, Red Sox over to Yanks 6-2, doubleheader game 1, Marlins over to Nats 4-2, Cards over to Mets 8-7, Angels over to Royals 5-2, Reds over to Astros 9-7, and tennis they complete the sweep. Tigers over to Twins 6-4, Brewers over to Pirates 5-2, Rangers over to Blue Jays 11-7, Phils over to A's 3-2, Mariners over to White Sox 5-1, Guardians over to D-backs 12-3, Giants over to Dodgers 7-3, Padres over to Giants 5-4, and doubleheader game 2, Red Sox over to Yanks 4-1 as they complete the sweep. All right, today's games 4 o'clock. You have the Cards at the Nats. Jack Flaherty and Josiah Gray. That's the lone matinee game today. 3 o'clock start in St. Louis. Or no, the game's in D.C. That's my mistake. So it's a 4 o'clock start here locally. In local time. Cards minus 154, Nats plus 130, over under 9.5, minus 110 each way. Cards minus 1.5 is plus 105, Nats plus 1.5 is minus 126. I'm going to Nats straight up, plus 130. The Cards have been terrible other than those 2 games against the Mets. I think the Nats can win this. Josiah Gray's been pretty good. 6:30, Royals Tigers. Jordan Lyles and Reese Olson. Tigers minus 146, Royals plus 124, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 156, Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 130. Full game over, that is ridiculous. I'm surprised it's not 10. Jays Marlins, Jose Barrios and Brian Hoeing. Barrios has been terrific lately after the slow start. Jays minus 162, Marlins plus 136, over under 8.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Jays minus 1.5 is plus 108. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 130. For this one, I'm going to go with the Marlins under 3.5 runs, minus 118. 7 o'clock, Cubs Pirates. Drew Smyly and Osvaldo Bido. Cubs minus 142, Pirates plus 120, over under 9, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 114. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 137. The Cubs are playing good baseball right now. Full game under for this game. Rockies Reds. Austin Gomber and Brandon Williamson. Reds minus 164. Rockies plus 138. Over under 10. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 130. Reds minus 1.5 is plus 108. Full game over. Red Sox Twins at 7:30. James Paxton, Pablo Lopez. Twins minus 136. Boston plus 116, over under 8. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Boston plus 1.5 is minus 184. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 150. For this one, I'm going to go with over 3.5 Red Sox runs, minus 112. I think that their offense is kind of humming right now. D-backs Brewers at 8. Merrill Kelly and Corbin Burns. Brewers minus 116, D-backs minus 102, over under 7.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. D-backs minus 1.5 is plus 168. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 205. D-backs are favored on the run line. Brewers are favored on the money line. I'm going with the Diamondbacks straight up at minus 102. Mets Astros. Max Scherzer and Hunter Brown. So Scherzer against the team he faced in the World Series several years ago. Astros minus 120, Mets plus 102, over under 7.5. Overs minus 108, unders minus 112. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 105. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 168. Is this a get-right spot for the Astros? Because it seemed like the Yankee offense only got right against the Mets, against Scherzer. Let's see if the Astros offense can do the same thing. I'm going to take the full game over in this one. Rangers, White Sox. Andrew Heaney and TBD for Chicago. No lines up yet. The Rangers will probably be favored. If the total is less than 9, I'll take the over. 9:45, Padres, Giants. Michael Wacha and Ryan Walker. Padres minus 118, Giants even money, over under 8.5. Overs minus 122, unders even money. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 136. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 164. I'm going full game under at even money for this one. All right, now we'll move on to the WNBA. We'll go over the results from the weekend, and we do not have any games today. So Friday, Mystics over to Mercury, 88-69. Commissioner's Cup, Lynx over to Sparks, 77-72. Saturday, Commissioner's Cup, Storm over to Wings, 109-103. That was a high-scoring affair. Sunday, Liberty over to Mercury, 89-71, and a lot of people sat in that game. Commissioner's Cup, Mystics over to Sky, 77-69. Commissioner's Cup, Dream over to Fever, 100-94. Sun over to Sparks, 83-74. And the Aces over to Lynx, 93-62. All right, now move on to soccer. We will go over everything from the weekend of note, and we will look ahead to everything going on today. All right, European Championship qualifying. Finland over Slovenia 2-0. Kazakhstan over San Marino 3-0. Turkey over Latvia 3-2. Greece over Republican Island 2-1. France over Gibraltar 3-0. Armenia over Wales 4-2. Switzerland over Andorra 2-1. Israel over Belarus 2-1. Denmark over North Ireland 1-0. Kosovo and Romania 0-0 draw. England over Malta 4-0. And Ukraine over North Macedonia 3-2. So that was Friday. Saturday, the 17th. Lithuania and Bulgaria 1-1 draw. Luxembourg over Liechtenstein 2-0. Azerbaijan and Estonia 1-1 draw. Montenegro and Hungary 0-0 draw. Scotland over Norway 2-1. Czech Republic over Faroe Islands 3-0. Slovakia over Iceland 2-1. Portugal over Bosnia-Herzegovina 3-0. Albania over Moldova 2-0. Belgium, Austria 1-1 draw. And Georgia over Cyprus 2-1. The 19th, which is today, Euro qualifiers. 12 o'clock, you have Armenia and Latvia. Armenia minus 160, Latvia plus 450, draw plus 290. Draw plus 290 is the pick. Ukraine, Malta. Ukraine minus 850. Malta is 17-1. The draw 7-1. For this one, I'm going to go over 3.5 goals minus 106. Finland, San Marino. Finland's minus 7,000. San Marino 65-1. The draw is 17-1. For this one, I'm going to go with under 3.5 goals at plus 154. 245, Israel and Andorra. Israel's minus 750. Honduras 20-1. The draws plus 750. Over 3.5 goals plus 120. North Ireland and Kazakhstan. North Ireland's minus 170. Kazakhstan's 5-1. The draws plus 270. I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 270. Republic Ireland and Gibraltar. Republic of Ireland is minus 20,000. Gibraltar is plus 10,000. The draw is 22-1. For this one, I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at minus 116. Slovenia and Denmark. Slovenia is plus 380. Denmark's minus 125. The draw is plus 230. I'm going to go with the draw plus 230. I think Slovenia has been pretty good. Switzerland and Romania. Switzerland minus 50. Romania is plus 650. The draw is plus 340. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals minus 102. Turkey, Wales. Turkey minus 125. Wales plus 380. Draws plus 240. It's tough to bet against Turkey here. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals plus 106. Belarus and Kosovo. Belarus plus 460. Kosovo is minus 155. The draws plus 260. Draw plus 260. France, Greece. That's the game of the day. France minus 370. Greece plus 900. The draws plus 460. The under 2.5 goals plus 104. And then England and North Macedonia. England minus 1350. North Macedonia is 26-1. The draw is 9-1. I'm going over 3.5 goals at plus 120. All right, we'll move on to MLS from the weekend and go over those results. It was just Saturday. NYCFC and Columbus 1-1 draw. Salt Lake over DC United 2-1. New England over Orlando 3-1. Nashville over St. Louis 3-1. LAFC over KC 2-1. And San Jose Portland 0-0 draw. The National Women's Soccer League, Saturday, Angel City over San Diego 2-1. North Carolina over Orlando 3-0. Houston and the Reign 0-0 draw. Sunday, Louisville over Gotham 2-0. Portland over Chicago 3-2. And Washington over KC 3-2. And then the USL Championship, Saturday, Charleston over Hartford 4-3. Loudoun over Miami FC 2-1. Birmingham over Indy XI 2-1. Orange County over Tulsa 3-0. Memphis, Detroit 0-0 draw. Colorado over Vegas 2-0. New Mexico, Rio Grande 2-2 draw. El Paso, Tampa Bay 1-1 draw. Pittsburgh, Oakland 0-0 draw. Louisville, Phoenix 2-2 draw. And Monterey Bay over Sacramento 1-0. Imagine parlaying all those draws. So many draws. Which is really funny. So we have some CONCACAF results to talk about from the weekend. And Friday, we had no games. It was, I think, Saturday and Sunday. No, it was just Sunday. Mexico for Panama 1-0 in the Nations League, and then U.S. over Canada 2-0. So U.S. wins it. Mexico third. Canada second. And Panama fourth. All right, the Men's College World Series. We'll go over the results from the weekend. So Friday, Oral Roberts over TCU 6-5, double elimination round. Number 2, Virginia over number 7, Virginia 6-5 in a double elimination round. And then Saturday, double elimination round, 1 seed Wake Forest over 8 seed Stanford 3-2, and 5 seed LSU over Tennessee 6-3. Elimination game, TCU knocks off number 7 Virginia 4-3, and then double elimination number 2 Florida over Oral Roberts 5-4. So 2 o'clock on ESPN today, elimination game between Tennessee and number 8 Stanford. It's going to be an interesting game. Tennessee's favorite -130, Stanford's +102 over under 9.5, overs -120, unders -110. Tennessee -1.5 is +122, Stanford +1.5 is -160. I'm going under. Then at 7 o'clock on ESPN, 5 seed LSU, or number 5 LSU and number 1 Wake Forest. Wake's -180, LSU's +140 over under 9.5, overs -118, unders -112. LSU +1.5 is -146. Wake -1.5 is +112. I'm going with the full game under for this one as well. All right, the Calder Cup final. We really haven't discussed this since I made the pick on the show because we haven't had the time. So game 1 was Thursday, the 8th, as Coachella Valley beat Hershey 5-0 or 5-0. Then Saturday was game 2. Coachella Valley shuts out Hershey again 4-0. Series is back to Hershey Tuesday. Overtime. Hershey wins 5-4 to get on the board in the series. Thursday, Hershey beats Coachella Valley 3-2 to even up the series at 2 each. And then Saturday, Hershey wins 1-0 over Coachella Valley in overtime to take a 3-2 series lead. So that's how the series has gone. The home teams won every game so far. And it's somewhat surprising in a weird way that Hershey came back, but at the same time, we shouldn't be surprised because the Bears have just been resilient all year long. And so we're going to see if we can pull up betting odds because I can't find them on so BetUS has some odds for tonight. Coachella's -170, Hershey's +130 over under 5.5, overs -115, unders -125. Hershey +1.5 is -140. Coachella -1.5 is +170. Game's 10 o'clock tonight on the NHL Network. My pick in the series was Bears in 6. They're a win away. And it feels like they have the momentum right now. The goaltending has been terrific in the series outside of Game 3, where both goalies kind of let up. And Hershey's goalie, Shepard, really turned it on in the second half of the series, Hunter Shepard. And then Joey Decord's been terrific outside of Game 3. This is a hard call. I think the under is very overvalued. And I'm going to stick with my pick for the series. I think the Bears get it done tonight. +130. As they will win their first Calder Cup since, I want to say, 2010. So I think the Hershey Bears get it done tonight. They just have the momentum right now, I feel like. And they haven't had a kick-ass game yet in the series. Coachella's had 2 of them, and Hershey's won the close ones. So Coachella's due for a stinker, and I think it could very well come tonight at home. So give me Hershey plus 130 to get it done. All right, now move on to golf. We will go over the results from the PGA Championship. It was very interesting as your winner with a score of 10 under, Wyndham Clark. Who had Wyndham Clark winning this event? Coming in second with 9 under, Rory McIlroy. Third with 7 under, Scottie Scheffler. Fourth with 6 under, Cam Smith. Tied for 5th with 5 under, Tommy Fleetwood, Ricky Fowler. Tied for 8th with 4 under, Harry English and Tom Kim. Tied for 10th with 3 under, Xander Schauffele, John Rahm, Austin Eckler, and Dustin Johnson. Tied for 14th with 2 under, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, and Ryan Henley. Tied for 17th with 1 under, Matt Fitzpatrick and Brooks Koepka. 19th at even, Victor Hovland. Now I'm just going to go through notables the rest of the way. Tied for 20th with 1 over, Bryson DeChambeau, Shane Lowry, Dylan McCarthy, Nate Hardy, and Keith Mitchell. Tied for 27th with 2 over, Tyrell Hatton, Sergio Garcia, Sahith Thiglia, Justin Sue. Tied for 32nd with 3 over, Dylan Wu, Patrick Rogers, Joaquin Neiman, Sam Burns, Tony Finau, and Cam Young. And Hideki Matsuyama, too. Tied for 39th with 4 over, Hideki Matsuyama. Siwoo Kim, Eric Cole. Tied for 15th with 5 over, Ryan Fox, Adam Putnam, Scott Stevens, Sam Bennett, Brian Harmon, Brett Horschel. Tied for 49th with 6 over, Kevin Strowman, Gary Woodland, Charlie Hoffman, Sebastian Munoz, Mackenzie Hughes, Abe Answers. Tied for 54th with 7 over. Tied for 56th with 8 over, Patrick Reed. 59th with 11 over, Adam Hadwin. Tied for 60th with 12 over, Adam Svensson. And among those cut, Victor Norman, Nicholas Echeverria, Thurston Lawrence, Phil Mickelson, Mito Pereira, Adrian Murdoch, Alex Noren, Jordan Spieth, Davis Thompson, Tyler Moore, Taylor Hogue, Seb Straka, Corey Connors, Justin Rose, Max Homosemus Power, Adam Shank, Chris Kirk, Nate Taylor, Lucas Herbert, Scott Stallings, Roger Sloan, Francesco Molinari, JT Potson, Adam Scott, Stuart Sink, Taylor Pendrith, Emiliano Grillo, Kurt Katayama, Sanjay M, Matt Kuchar, Brent Grant, Luke List, Keegan Bradley, Taylor Montgomery, Ryan Moore, Michael Kim, Jason Day, Carson Young, Hayden Buckley, Victor Perez, Joel Dahman, Justin Thomas, and Hank Lebioda. All right, now I'm going to do my latest NBA mock draft. We're going to try to be really quick with this one, and then we'll do my latest NHL mock as well. All right, it's my 5th NBA mock draft. Number 1, San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, center of France. This is going to happen. We know it. They're just a lucky team, the Spurs. They always luck out with these big men. Number 2, the Charlotte Hornets, Brandon Miller, small forward, Alabama. I have no idea whether it's going to be Miller or Henderson. I think it's changing by the day. Or maybe they trade the pick for someone to move up to get Scoot. Who knows? Number 3, the Portland Trailblazers, Scoot Henderson, point guard, G League Ignite. If they were to take Scoot here, that would mean Damian Lillard probably on another team. I think Scoot has all-NBA type of talent. Number 4, the Houston Rockets, Amen Thompson, point guard, overtime elite. They love Amen Thompson. Apparently, they think that he belongs in the same category as Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson. I don't know if I buy that. I saw a mock draft the other day that had Amen ahead of Brandon Miller at the 3 spot, which would be wild. Number 5, the Detroit Pistons, Cam Whitmore, small forward, power forward, Villanova. We talked about the Pistons being the loser here. Whitmore, I think, is a good player. It's a need pick, too. And I like the idea of Whitmore on Detroit. 6, the Orlando Magic, Oster Thompson, shooting guard, small forward, overtime elite. There's the people that think that Oster is going to be better than Amen because of his 3-point shooting ability. I think Oster in Orlando is a good fit. 7, the Indiana Pacers. Jarvis Walker, power forward, Houston. The Pacers have options, as we know. Walker and the Pacers feels like a safe match. Number 8, the Washington Wizards. Anthony Black, point guard, Arkansas. This is a very popular mock pick. Obviously, the Wiz, as we talked about on the top of the show, traded away Bradley Beal, so they need a guard. 9, the Utah Jazz. Taylor Hendricks, power forward, UCF. This is a popular mock selection as of right now as well. Provides depth at the position behind Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler, or I should say at the bigs and just in general on their roster. Number 10, the Dallas Mavericks. Cason Wallace, point guard, Kentucky. Cason Wallace is getting top 10 buzz. The Mavs at this spot make some sense. They need a point guard after losing Jalen Brunson. Number 11, the Orlando Magic from the Chicago Bulls. Grady Dick, shooting guard, Kansas. Dick and the Magic has been a popular mock selection of late. Makes a lot of sense. They need shooting. 12, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Chet Howard, shooting guard, small forward, Michigan. Fast riser in Howard. Could score, but an injury held him back. 13, the Toronto Raptors. Kobe Buffkin, power forward, shooting guard. Or I should say point guard, shooting guard, Michigan. This pick would make sense. Fred VanVleet likely to leave. Very athletic. And people think he's a safe bet. 14, the New Orleans Pelicans. Jalen Hood-Schifino, point guard, shooting guard, Indiana. Hood-Schifino, very versatile player. I think a wild card could go in the lottery or at the end of the first round. 15, the Atlanta Hawks. Bilal Coulibaly, small forward, France. The Hawks go with the swing guy in Coulibaly, who is Wembanyama's teammate. He has really good length. 16, the Utah Jazz from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Keontae George, shooting guard, small forward, Baylor. The Jazz here go with someone who's been very battle-tested, but he's somebody that's not the best shooter in the world. 17, Los Angeles Lakers. Jaime Jaquez, shooting guard, small forward, UCLA. I think Los Angeles would love this pick. They know him from UCLA. Good tournament player. Good mid-range game. 18, the Miami Heat. Derek Lively Jr., center, Duke. This wouldn't really make sense unless they traded Bam for a star. Two-way upside Lively has, but not very consistent in school. 19, the Golden State Warriors. Nick Smith, point guard, shooting guard, Arkansas. Smith makes sense here. With potentially Jordan Poole being traded. Klay Thompson's a free agent. Smith struggled in college with injuries and being inconsistent, but could be worth it at this spot. 20, the Houston Rockets from the Los Angeles Clippers. Bryce Sensabaugh, shooting guard, small forward, Ohio State. With their second first rounder, the Rockets take the talented wing and Sensabaugh. 3-and-D, point getter, could swing a game. 21, the Brooklyn Nets from the Phoenix Suns. Chris Murray, small forward, power forward, Iowa. Murray, super talented guy. We all know his brother Keegan on Sacramento. He has a good IQ, and he's a good defender. 22, the Brooklyn Nets. Leonard Miller, small forward, power forward, G League Ignite. So back-to-back combo forwards for the Nets. Miller obviously was a teammate of Scoot Henderson. He's somebody whose stock has dropped after it went up a couple of weeks ago. 23, the Portland Trailblazers from the New York Knicks. Rayon Rupert, shooting guard, small forward, France. Could be an interesting draft and stash guy for Portland. Rupert, good wingspan, can defend. 24, the Sacramento Kings. Jordan Hawkins, shooting guard of Connecticut. The Kings here will be getting a steal with Hawkins. Some may think he can go in the lottery. The Kings could use production from that two-guard spot, and Hawkins is an elite shooter. 25, the Memphis Grizzlies. Brandon Podziemski, shooting guard, small forward, Santa Clara. Podziemski's yet another Santa Clara Bronco who could end up going in the first round. Podziemski, typical Grizzlies guy, 3-D. 26, the Indiana Pacers from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Olivier Maxence Prosper, small forward, power forward, Marquette. With their second first rounder, the Pacers take the versatile guy in Maxence Prosper. He's an aggressive player as he excels defensively, but he needs to develop more offensively. 27, the Charlotte Hornets from the Denver Nuggets. Maxwell Lewis, small forward, Pepperdine. With their second first rounder, I have the Hornets going with Lewis. He has a lot of length and creates good shots from himself, which can cause him to move up boards. 28, the Utah Jazz from the Philadelphia 76ers. Ben Shepherd, shooting guard, Belmont. With their third first rounder, I have the Jazz taking Shepherd, elite shooter, good all-around game. 29, the Indiana Pacers from the Boston Celtics. Tariq Whitehead, small forward, Duke. Third first rounder, I have the Pacers going with Whitehead. Somebody that would have been a lottery pick that if he didn't fracture his foot his freshman year. And he could be a good bench guy. 30, the Los Angeles Clippers from the Milwaukee Bucks. Gregory Jackson, small forward, South Carolina. The Clippers, I think, should go with the best guy available, personally, with the pick. Considering the uncertainty on their roster outside their big two, and with their big two from an injury standpoint. Strong frame, good athlete, and we think he could handle the physicality in the NBA. All right, now we'll do my NHL mock draft. This is the one that was supposed to be from Friday, but we are doing it on today's show. Number 1, the Chicago Blackhawks, Connor Bedard, center, Virginia, WHL. No-brainer, this is the pick. Franchise player, point getter. Number 2, the Anaheim Ducks, Adam Fantilli, center, Michigan, NCAA. Fantilli feels like a lock at this point for the Ducks. He would fit nicely with that young group. 3, the Columbus Blue Jackets, Leo Carlsson, forward. Orbro, Sweden. The Jackets do have options, but Carlsson feels like the guy. He's big, he has good skill down low, and gets through traffic. 4, the San Jose Sharks, Will Smith, center, USA Under-18, NTDP. The Sharks have some options here, and personally, they should go with the best guy available. Smith has the potential to be a top-line center. I said stop, I don't know why. He's a good playmaker. 5, the Montreal Canadiens, Ryan Leonard, wing, USA Under-18, NTDP. The Habs continue to add more young forwards here with Leonard. Loaded team, character guy. Number 6, the Arizona Coyotes. Matevei Maikov, wing, St. Petersburg, Russia. The Coyotes have to be in the best guy available mode here, too. He could have been the top pick of the draft any other year. And he would have gone higher if he didn't have that long contract in Russia. 7, the Philadelphia Flyers. David Reinbacher, defenseman, EHC, Cloton. The Flyers are a team that is in dire need of young talent. Reinbacher has the offensive upside, size, and mobility as he's the most league-ready D-man in the draft. Number 8, the Washington Capitals. Dalibor Dvorsky, center, Ike, Sweden. The Caps can realistically go anywhere with this pick. Dvorsky has the ability to be a plug-and-play guy and has a good hockey IQ. 9, the Detroit Red Wings, Zach Benson, wing, Winnipeg, WHL. Benson is someone whose draft stock is rising to the point where people had Benson mocked to the Red Wings with their second first. Excellent skill and IQ, and people think he has the motor to be successful. 10, the St. Louis Blues, Nate Danielson, center, Brandon, WHL. The Blues with their first rounder land a solid center in Danielson. Good tools kit, great all-around play. Number 11, the Vancouver Canucks, Tom Willander, defenseman, Rogel Jr., Sweden Jr. This pick makes sense for the Canucks with the buyout of Olivier Ekman-Larsson. Willander is a solid two-way guy, very mobile. 12, the Arizona Coyotes from the Ottawa Senators, Gabriel Perreault, wing, US Under-18, NTDP. Another player off the board and from that loaded team. He was on that top team, good shot. 13, the Buffalo Sabres. Oliver Moore, forward, USA Under-18, NCDP. This is the fourth guy off from that team. Versatile player and would fit well with the Sabres. 14, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Matthew Wood, wing, UConn, NCAA. This would be a good pick. Wood's a safe bet in my opinion. My type of guy, power forward, high-end skill guy, kind of like Chris Kreider. 15, the Nashville Predators. Dmitry Simashev, defenseman. Yaroslav Jr., Russia Jr. The Preds are another team in need of youth, and Simashev's a good pick here. He has some offensive game, which the Preds would like. 16, the Calgary Flames. Axel Sandin Palika, defenseman. Skellefteå Jr., Sweden. This would be a solid pick for the Flames if they need young defense. Sandin Palika is a good puck handler and could guide an offense. 17, the Detroit Red Wings from the New York Islanders via the Vancouver Canucks. Samuel Honzek, wing, Vancouver, WHL. Honzek is someone whose draft stock is dropping. As the draft gets closer, physical player, moves well. 18, the Winnipeg Jets. Brandon Yeager, center, Moose Jaw, WHL. The Jets are a team that's going to possibly blow it up, so go with the best guy available. Yeager can slip out of the round because of his height and lack of scoring, sans the quick shot. 19, the Chicago Blackhawks from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Andrew Cristall, wing, Kelowna, WHL. With their second first rounder, the Blackhawks go with another forward. Cristall is another offensive machine with really good vision and ability. 20, the Seattle Seahawks. Colby Barlow, wing, Owen, OHL. They add yet another young talent with Barlow. Good fit on this up-and-coming team. Good scoring and puck ability. 21, the Minnesota Wild. Daniil Boot, wing, Loco Yaroslavl, OHL. Interesting spot for the Wild. They have cap problems. Boot has a good shot and a force on the boards. Doesn't skate well, though. 22, the Philadelphia Flyers from the Los Angeles Kings via the Columbus Blue Jackets. Edward Sale, wing, Bruno Chesia. With their second first rounder, which they recently got, they go with Sale. Polarizing player, great hands. 23, to New York Rangers. David Edstrom, center. Frölund Jr., Sweden Jr. This would be a good pick. They need some center depth in their system, the Rangers. Two-way guy, has good size. 24, Nashville Predators from the Edmonton Oilers. Oliver Bonk, defenseman, London, OHL. With their second pick, the Preds go with Bonk, a big and mobile puck mover and would fit with the Blues. 25, the St. Louis Blues from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Callum Ritchie, forward, Oshawa, OHL. With their second first rounder, Ritchie's the pick here for the Blues. All-around player, scorer. He can pass. Reliable in all three zones. 26, the San Jose Sharks from the New Jersey Devils. Gavin Brindley, center wing, Michigan NCAA. The Sharks with their second first rounder go with the talented forward in Brindley. Versatile guy. Good scoring touch. 27, the Colorado Avalanche. Mikhail Guliev, defenseman, Omsk Jr., Russia. The Avs have some options, and the D-man would make sense. Guliev excels offensively, good skater. 28, the Toronto Maple Leafs from the Boston Bruins via the Washington Capitals. Quentin Moosty, wing, Sudbury, OHL. The Leafs are a team that needs some refurbishing in their system. Moosty is unafraid to throw his body around, right in front of the net, and can beat defenders well. 29, the St. Louis Blues from the Dallas Stars via the New York Rangers. Danny Nelson, center, US Under-18, NTDP. Third first rounder, the Blues go with the NTDP star and Nelson. Physical player, good face-off man, good size. 30, the Carolina Hurricanes. Tanner Maldinik, defenseman, Saskatoon, WHL. The Canes are a true wild card in the first round. Maldinik, high-end skater and competes hard. 31, the Montreal Canadiens from the Florida Panthers. Ethan Gauthier, wing, Sherbrooke, QMJHL. With their second first, I have the Habs going with Gauthier. He established himself as a good goal scorer, and his power forward status fits him well. And 32, the Vegas Golden Knights, Otto Stenberg, forward, Frölunda, HC, SHL. The new Stanley Cup champs go with the versatile guy in Stenberg, strong player, and a good wrist shot. Alrighty. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Long show today, I know. Friday's best bet was a loser. I took the over in the White Sox Mariner game. The Mariners won that game 3-2, and the number was 7.5. So for this one, I thought about a few. But there was one that jumped out at me. And that is over 9 in the Royal Tiger game. It's going to bite me in the ass if I don't get this one. I'm going to lay a half unit on it. So, over 9, minus 105 for my best bet of the day. All right, that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking at everything tomorrow. I'll be doing NBA mocks all week long because the draft is on Thursday. We'll talk about Calder Cup Game 6. We'll talk about soccer. We'll have a portfolio pick for you and a lot more. Have a good day, everybody.